Well, I mean, Rebecca, what do you think of the, in principle, of bringing these things onto one database?
I think it's fantastic. I think transparency is long overdue. Of course, we've got our register of financial interests, but it only goes so far in shining a spotlight on where donations come from and to what extent MPs are remunerated for outside activities.
Yeah, now we will very shortly have all your registered donations and so forth on the screen. Most of it, I think it has to be said, I think you're 11th on the list, am I right in saying, over 400,000. Most of it from the unions, in your case. I think Momentum as well.
Yeah,
was there
for the
campaign?
leadership campaign, yeah.
This was for the leadership campaign. I mean, it's a lot of money from the unions. Do you think, broadly speaking, they get value for money?
They certainly do, and I think it's important to note that when we were going through the Labour leadership campaign, I wanted to shine a spotlight on party donations, and I asked all of the other leadership candidates to publish their donors list before they were expected to do so by the party, because I think it's important for our members and our constituents to understand who funds these campaigns, because that shines a light on what kind of MP you are and what kind of leader you were meant to be in the future. And of course, I was proud that all of my donations came from trade unions and Labour members who believed in what I was setting out as a vision. They wanted proper rights for workers, decent living wage, and to tax the super rich fairly so that we could fund our public services properly. And it's also important to note on the issue of trade union donations that they are the cleanest money that can be found in politics. They come from democratic member-led organisations. The same can't be said of certain other donations that are made to various MPs that come from particular companies or particular individuals who have certain private interests.
But that's not to say that money from individuals and companies is not clean money. I mean, it's
not to say it's not clean money, but it comes with strings attached, shall we say. So trade unions donate to the Labour Party because they set up the Labour Party. It's what we all believe in as a trade union movement. From particular individuals and particular organisations, there could be strings attached. So, for example, Rishi Sunak received £530,000 as part of his leadership campaign. Over a quarter of that came from oil, gas companies and aviation individuals with particular interests. Now, there are no details as to what they expected from the Prime Minister when he became Prime Minister, but of course the question needs to be asked as to why we haven't seen the real action required on the energy crisis, why action hasn't been taken stringently enough on the super profits of big energy companies, and why we're not seeing the action on climate change that's needed.
All right, look, I just want to stick on this issue at the moment. And on second jobs, Keir Starmer seems to be quite clear that he wants to ban second jobs. He doesn't seem very clear about the instance of David Lammy, who has money coming in from speeches and media work and so forth. He didn't seem very clear at all about whether he should be stopped doing this work. So what is his view? What is his view? What is your view?
Well, my own personal view, I mean, I don't receive any external earnings outside my MP salary, and I think that being an MP is a hugely privileged position to be in. There aren't enough hours in the day to do your job as an MP properly, let alone take on a second job. So I would ban second jobs, and I think Keir was right to say that. Now, in terms of ambiguity, shall we say, there are arguments that are put forward that certain individuals should be allowed to keep up their professional qualifications. I was a lawyer. I chose not to do that because I wanted to give my all to my job as an MP, and I sacrificed my old career to concentrate solely on this one. But if you're a nurse, for example, I don't think there's an argument to say that you couldn't, in your holidays, for example, go in and help out at your local A&E department. But when that becomes a diversion to your job as an MP, it's not right. So I would go forward saying that we need to ban jobs, second jobs for MPs categorically.
Sam?
Just following up on that. So do you think Keir Starmer should tell David Lammy to